And after a long day of ripping out all these wires, I know it doesn't look like a whole lot, but I've been upstairs in the bridge and back down. I've had the bridge apart. So much that's not on this video. After all of that though, it's Jack and tea time.
Last time on Sailing Music and Lyrics. Getting music and lyrics ready for offshore sailing and living aboard required a lot of work. Sparky was adjusting to boat life also.
Empty, empty, empty. Even this one right here is empty. Another good day. One day closer to moving aboard. Today, I gotta go up the mast. While we were coming here, the topping lift gave way.
Our videos are not just for us to look back on later, they're for you. And if you enjoy them and want to see more, join the band on Patreon.
A really strange problem. Place is a mess. Which happens whenever you've got a problem. When you step on the port side winch, the electric winch, the compass goes crazy. It actually starts thinking that it's going down, and it's actually not. So I think I've narrowed it down to the negative side of that, because the positive side is connected to another winch up there, and that winch isn't doing it. So right now I'm tracing the negative from the winch, that winch, and that negative, which runs through there, along here, in there. I'm tripping over stuff, and now I've got to take this one down. So I've been messing with this. I've had this panel off and that panel off. What I figured out finally was that it's actually there's some magnetism being induced through the wiring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refit this further in to the ceiling, probably here forward. This is where it was, right here. I'm gonna move it forward right here. Wanted to go over this again really quick. I rebuilt the system the way that it was because I don't think that I got any video of what was really going on so that you could actually see it. So we're gonna retest the system the way that it was. We're gonna fix the system, and then we're gonna test it after so you can see the difference. See the problem that I was having beforehand and the fact that it's been fixed afterwards. So let's get to it. Can't believe I'm about to take this beast to the boat. Enough room for calibration. So what I'm seeing now is a 1 degree shift, which I can probably shield when the time comes. I can order a shielding for it, but I'm down from 18 degrees to 1 degree. So nice and clean. Oh, and you saw that I left this. It's the only one I left, just to hold that up. But all the other ones are trimmed up nicely. Bam. That's rock and roll right there.
Okay, so we're pretty excited. Today is Saturday, October 2nd? No, it's not even October.
You're hopeful, aren't you?
Starting over. Hey there, so we're pretty excited. Today is Saturday, I think it's September 29th or 30th. I don't know, I don't pay that much attention to the calendar.
We'll annotate below.
And today is our first sail, just the two of us. We're gonna be heading north into the Chesapeake Bay. We're really excited. So far, so good. It's a gorgeous day. It's gonna be a light wind day. It's gonna be a light wind day, and that's perfect since this is our first day. Just the two of us.
We'll be on a beam reach the whole way.
Awesome. All right, more later. Sparky is manning the helm today. Oh, such a cute. All right, so we got a pretty slow going. We thought we were going to be downwind. We are not. We think we're making wind at this point.
Wind shifted.
So it's just a nice little cruise. So we brought up the little baby to enjoy it with Mommy and Daddy. Have a happy Sunday. Hey, what you doing down there, honey?
Yeah. This happened to us before. The generator doesn't like to start from the inside for some reason. The last time, ow, that was my finger. The last time it was salt in the onboard key down here, and this is where we have our house generator, by the way. I'm gonna hope that that's the problem again.
Okay, and while you're getting that stuff cleaned out of the locker, just want to show everybody what a gorgeous sunset we're getting. Not as pretty as last night's sunset for sure, but this is pretty stunning. This is our anchorage up in Deltaville. We just completed a 6.5 hour sail through the Chesapeake to get up here. Pretty happy, just the two of us.
Just the two of us. So that key, for some reason, go up and around. Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
I told you I had to take a whole bunch of stuff out to get to it.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
So for some reason that key
Alright,
gets
so
some
remind
kind of
me
a
what
salt
to
in
do.
it. Hit, turn it on run, open it up, open the door.
Here,
Yes. The top switch,
hit run first.
put it on run.
It's on run.
Just try and start it real quick. Salt. Salt. Stuck in that switch. I've got to take that switch out. It's a good night. It's a very good night.
Okay. I just made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches when he's been having a little bit of a stress moment. So I'm giving him some peanut butter and jelly. Come here. What? Uh-oh, did you drop? No, you didn't. Come here. He can't see. Poor little guy. Was that tasty? Did you enjoy that? Was that good? That's the hilarious thing about giving peanut butter to dogs. They just keep licking and licking and licking and licking and licking. What a cutie. Hello, Angel Heart. Hey, folks. We are just leaving the house after putting the storm shutters down and nailing off. I'm sorry, after Erik screwed off
I screwed off.
He screwed off the deck boards because a couple popped up from the last storm.
108 of them.
And now we are, this is our mode of transportation. We actually flipped around the other way. Can't remember how to do it. But this is our mode of transportation for the foreseeable future because we have dropped off our vehicles inside the garage. Now the good news is that our tenants that were supposed to move in this week, this weekend, they had to postpone the move-in because of the hurricane. So we were able to park our cars in the garage.
They still have their bimini up as well.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised. Anyway, so we are headed straight ahead. The cat on the right, that's us.
Pretty close to the house.
We're very close to the house. So anyway, we wanted to get a little bit of this before shot. Today is Wednesday. It is about, what time is it, honey? It's 1:45. And we're gonna see what the weather and the storm will do afterward. Okay, so this is Tuesday at, I don't know, it's gotta be 12:15 in the afternoon. And we're in Hampton, Virginia. And this is the calm before the storm. That over there is west, and that is east. We are doing our boat prep for the hurricane. As you can see, we've got some cushions that are drying out so we can store them inside. And Erik is taking the bimini down. He's going to secure it off. I'm sure he's got plenty of other little things that he's still working on here. He's already taken a bunch of stuff that could fly away off the boat. In case you didn't guess, we are staying aboard here in Hampton, Virginia during the hurricane. I am incredibly nervous, I'm not going to lie. There is more than one tear being shed. This is my first hurricane. A couple weeks ago was my very first sail. I'm worried about my dog. I'm worried about my house down that channel. Yeah, I feel like all I'm doing is worrying right now. One of the worries that I had going into this was this dock. So we are at the end of J-Dock. This is a floating dock with what is actually, in my opinion, a pretty short piling. So let's have some prayers that the storm surge does not push our floating pier and all of us with it out into water. But because we're at the end of the dock, I was really worried. This is a really old dock. I was worried that it would break away. And I guess I'm not the only one. Management came and installed some braces. That right there makes me feel infinitely better. We're not the only ones that are staying aboard. We've had more than one cat pop their way into Salt Ponds Marina. So I don't feel completely alone. But once again, not gonna lie, I really wish the storm was not gonna impact all of us the way it will.
Sweaty and tired, but let's go through this real quick. Prep for Hurricane Florence. I don't think it's going to be all that bad. I said it before and I keep saying it, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So let's go over some of the things that I've done. I usually keep all the lines up pretty good anyway, so you can see there, just everything's up off of the deck, the deck of the boat. The only thing I need to do is I need to take that down. And we even see it as a Wi-Fi antenna. I'll take that down when it starts to get windy enough that I think it needs to come down. But basically everything is up. That just makes it easy if there is a lot of wind. Things are not going to get blown around. I have a spare fender right here, and it's tied down right here. That way it doesn't go anywhere if it does pick up wind. Two things up here, actually three. One's a joke. Anchor. I've got this really large, ridiculously large chain, and you can see that I have it double shackled to the anchor, and I have it lashed to that cleat right there, and you can totally see the
the spare snubbing safety chain is much thicker than this chain. This is really overkill. This was on the boat, so I don't really know. So let's look at the furler. You can see the way that it's twisted. If you're looking down here, it'll be clockwise. It's spun that way. So what I've done is I've taken this line and I've gone around and I've shackled it right here so that it can't spin that way and unfurl. See, that stops. And I've taken that and just tied it off on that cleat. And there's that. Somebody said we were getting 20 inches of rain, and I said, if we get 20 inches of rain, which is about the size of that bucket, I will dump it on my head. So that's tied down pretty well, as it's not going anywhere. Boat hooks are put away. One is easily accessible. Actually, they're both easily accessible in two different areas. The front crash locker and the seat lazarette in the cockpit. What I've done here, you can see that I've wrapped the entire stack pack all the way down, and I kind of triple lashed it at the end just to make sure. I don't know if you can see, but I've tied the halyard down so that the halyard is actually tied to the lashing. So all of that goes around, that's the first knot, and then I've tensioned the main halyard so it doesn't go blang 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 blang. Boom is held down. There's that antenna that I'm gonna have to deal with at some point. It's really wobbly. I dropped the bimini and I wrapped it and I just laid it down so you can see that it's wrapped up pretty good right here, and it's heavy. I mean, it's 20-25 pounds, so it's not going anywhere. And I'm going to leave this cover on the cockpit. I've removed these, don't come off. I was going to take these off, but unless I pop these buttons and unscrew blah 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 blah, you know, huh? Good. Somebody checking to make sure we're doing all right. But yeah, these will tear. They've got holes in them that go into the snaps. Actually, right here. Which, how do I want to do that? I didn't even think about this. Actually, I'm going to leave that down. These snaps, the only reason that that's off is because there's holes in here. See that hole? Goes to that snap, and then that goes over and holds it down. With those holes in there, I think it'll just tear. And this one, this side over here, has a big hole for this winch. It actually goes right over top of it. So I think that the best course of action was to just tuck them down under. I mean, they make it through sailing without coming off. So yeah, boom's nice and tight. I've got it and a preventer on it. I keep a preventer on pretty much most of the time, even during active sailing. Just another line to go and deal with, but it is what it is. Everything has all the lines are doubled. So if you look here, I've added this one right here to go along with that one that cuts across. And they crisscross right there. That's the only choking point, and they really aren't touching that much unless they're in the water. This guy laying on the deck, put him over there. They were kind enough to come out and put this brace on. But as you can see, this one right here goes down, and that's the main one right there. I ran another one to midships. This spring line right here has always been on, and these two have actually always been on as well. So they tightened that off and brought it up here. Makes it just easier and less to deal with. But yeah, that's basically everything I've done. I mean, I've removed, except for these cushions right here, And this settee, everything else is gone. That would be the forward settee. That would be the forward cockpit, the flybridge. All of that stuff is gone. I'll clear all this junk. And you collect so much stuff in spaces that you don't really know where things are going to go until they get home, and then they get moved again. But I mean, I've loosened the sheets on the Genoa a little bit, just to put a little bit more slack in than I normally leave. So just in case any wind hits them, it's not gonna really start to pull right away. It'll have a little bit of slack in it. I don't know that that's gonna help. These shackles for the dinghy, the davits here, I put them here. They'll come down. I'm going to go get the dinghy. I think the most thing that we're going to see here is high rise in water from the storm surge. So yeah, I think the streets are going to get flooded, and the dinghy's going to be the only car. So we'll see how that works out. Other than that, I need to move the garden and just some stuff out here. Everything else, I mean, just all this mess, and it is just mess. This stuff needs to go. The water will stay. I'll find something for the dog poop baggies. Tools and stuff are always in flux. But yeah, that's what we've done for preparation so far.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Sailing Music and Lyrics. If you liked it, make sure you hit that big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button right up here. Next week, I put the solar arch on the stern of the boat, and we sell Lisa's Mercedes-Benz. She gets a little teary, but you know, everything works out in the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Lisa's here, but she's really busy, and it's really windy outside, so I'm kind of stuck down in our hull right now. But make sure and subscribe, comment, do all those nice things, and if you really like what's going on, head on over to Patreon and become a member of the band. Thank you guys so much.